everybody for being a part of this. I know a couple people on here are repeats for being on the show. So thank you so much for consistently supporting and being a part. And I know Jahan and Adrian are new. Adrian's actually my brother, so that's a fun fact. I know this is your guys' first time, so thank you so much for agreeing to be a part of this. I'm so thankful for everybody. You know, I wouldn't have a show if it wasn't for the participants and everybody's input and topics. So you guys are amazing. So a little introduction. I'm Tiffany, run Gig Merge. Concept of the Saturday sessions was inspired by people reaching out to me, asking questions. And I don't know everything. I don't claim to know everything, but I know a lot of people. So it just kind of makes sense to connect people with different resources or things that I have a network for, or if somebody else knows somebody. I mean, collaboration is key for making things work. So just starting a Saturday session where we can come together, talk about topics, talk about issues, and just kind of bond on those issues, as well as providing our areas of expertise, if it helps somebody, and then also posting it on YouTube so it can help even more people. So that's my little spiel. We're going to go around and actually just do brief introductions right quick, and then we'll get into the topics. So I'll just call your name, and if you could state your name, your area of expertise, and then your location, and then we'll just keep it pushing until everybody's done their introduction. So I'll start off with Adrian.
My name's Adrian. I do digital marketing and lead generation, and then I'm based out of Dayton, Ohio.
Yeah, we've done a lot of work together, not just because we're siblings, but because he's really great as far as marketing. He's helped me with Gig Merge and coming up with a whole bunch of stuff. So I think based off of looking at everybody's topics that they submitted today, I think you could provide a lot of insight. So next we'll go to Jahan.
I live in Dayton, Ohio, but I'm in Texas right now. So I work full time, but my side job is a women network. Really, I'm still starting it off the ground, but what we accomplished so far is I was able to do a conference virtually with different speakers. So I'm kind of like Tiffany. I just like to bring people. I don't know everything either. So the speakers were out there to encourage in different areas for women. And that's my passion. I like to encourage people, but especially women. And, I'm looking to do a lot of collaborations with other organizations and then do different monthly events. The purpose of my business is to host conferences every year. And initially we're supposed to be in Dayton, but virtually is opening a brand new world.
Yeah.
So I'm here and I'm interested to talk with you guys.
Yes, definitely. I know we've had extensive conversations about your women's conference, and I know for me personally, and everybody can chime in, just working in the industry, finding women has been, kind of, you can find more males than you can women to get involved in a lot of different projects and things. So I know we were talking about collabing on getting more women to be involved in both of our endeavors. So I think it's great that you're here because I know, Wes and Ron, between everybody that's on the call, like we can maybe brainstorm how we can get more women involved. I know a lot of female artists, but as you can see on the call, it's mostly males. So, I just need to figure out how to navigate that piece. And maybe Adrian can weigh in on a marketing tactic for that. But that's my little topic, but it kind of relates to what Jahan was talking about. So next we will go to Wes.
Hi, everybody. My name is Wes. I'm short for Wes the Tech. I'm a music producer as well as a music business coach, and I basically empower independent recording artists to build a full-time music business so they no longer have to work outside of their craft, so I help them from step by step to get to that point that they can leave their day job.
And that is the ultimate goal for a lot of artists. And I know we've done a lot of these calls together. So just seeing, the artists who are on the call and the insight that they get, like Wes is just super valuable on that front. So thank you again for being here. Perfect. All right. Next, we'll go to James.
Hey, what's up? My name is James. I'm also based out of Dayton, Ohio. And, I work full time as a solar technician. And I run a radio station called DLGV Radio. I try to promote the community and just try to promote local artists and just artists in general. I just want to promote Dayton, promote, the city and every other city and try to do my best for the music,
Definitely. And I
Yeah.
know you've been on here before, so thank you
Yeah.
again for coming back. Also, I wanted to ask, because I know last week Ron was on the call as well, and he's a DJ. He'll introduce himself in a second. But we were talking about, if he was open to accepting submissions for music. So I guess we can get into it a little bit more later, but would you be open for artists to like submit their music for your radio station?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
perfect. Oh, that's
Oh,
great.
Oh, don't.
So next we will go to Ron.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Ron Perry. I'm a DJ here in the Cincinnati, Dayton area, and I've been around the country quite a bit DJing over the years. And what I do is just play every kind of music, including new artists, local artists. As long as it's good music and acceptable to the form that I'm playing to, we're good to go. And I'm here as support, and I've also worked around music artists in the 90s mostly. And so I'm familiar with some of the older things that can kind of maybe correlate with the newer things. So pleasure to be here with everyone.
Definitely. And thank you again for being on the call again. You were on last week and provided so much insight. So everybody that is on the call pretty much submitted a topic that they wanted to cover. So some of the topics kind of blended in with one another. That's why I love receiving it in advance, so I can kind of see who can piggyback off of who. So we'll go ahead and start with Jahan. I know you were talking about creating a women's network, and I kind of wanted to revisit that topic as far as getting more women involved in your mission, as well as, the music industry. I know we were talking about kind of collabing forces on that front. So I just wanted you to be able to go a little bit more in depth as far as like any issues that you were experiencing, and then kind of open it up for everybody to kind of weigh in.
Well, my issue as a newbie in entrepreneurship is that one, I was not born and raised in Dayton. So I'm from the outside looking in. And with Dayton, it seems like people already have I don't want to call it their own clique, but it looks like it on the outside. But, but it's not like they are against you if you want to be involved in a part of them, but it will have to be supporting them. But it takes a whole lot to get people to support you because, you're not really known. And whatever that criteria is needed to probably be in the it crowd. I don't know what it is. And I'm not really care to know what it is either, because I'm not trying to be successful based on popularity. I want my work to speak for itself. I want to be effective. But however, I guess that's the reality. The reality is, people are already kind of divided, already comfortable with where they're at, especially our peers, people in our late 20s, 30s. People seems to be not wanting to open up to new connection, new friendship, new partnership. And then on top of that, my business is for all women, not just any type of specific ethnicity. So that's another challenge too. If it's for white, Latino, Asian, immigrants, Black. So, and then we in the, as you see what's going on in the country, we fighting against racism. So everybody's on their feelings. So here I am coming to say, hey, I'm all about diversity. This is what this business is about. And it's like, we'll see, but I believe that unity is always a force. So it's just going to be a matter of time.
I was going to ask Adrian if you could chime in a little bit, because I know, Jahan, when you were talking about relating to all women, is there like a specific race, I guess, that is more prominent, that's like, hey, we support everything that you're doing? And Adrian, if you could kind of tie in with that.
Well, naturally, organically, I attract people who looks like me. So therefore, my goal when I'm building my team, because I will have a team, is to have multiple diverse other women as well, so that whoever can relate with them will feel comfortable joining. But I can be anywhere in different, I can be in any room of people looking different like me, and I can be comfortable because that's how I am. That's how I was raised. I'm multicultural. I can be anywhere and be comfortable. But naturally, organically, I do attract people that look at me who wants to like, oh, you're doing this event, or you're doing a spa night. I'm coming, girl. So, but yeah, I think every businesses, small businesses, or even big businesses now are being aware of, diversity inclusion, how we can include diversity. So well, have people that don't look like you be in your board, be in your team, be in the leadership, do things that include everybody too. So yeah.
My first thought is if you're able to share your story. So maybe more of like the reason why you started your group in the first place. And then if that can resonate with people, then they'll be more likely to join your cause. And then maybe some of the, like being a bit more vulnerable and sharing some of the issues that you've gone through, then other people will say like, I've gone through those same issues, let me join up and like, let's build something together.
Yeah, so that's a challenge in itself too. Like, how do I share my story? How do I not sound that I feel sorry for myself? Or how do I not sound too commercialized? So that's a challenge in itself for me.
I can sum it up in one sentence: be yourself.
Mhm.
Because
I
I've
get
I-
that.
I've only lived in dating 32 months, maybe something like that.
Mhm.
And when I first got here, people were like, "Oh, you're a DJ. Okay, whatever." You know, I try to connect with DJs here. It was like dead ends. And so for me, the advantage that I had that they didn't realize is that I've DJed in multiple markets. This is just another market.
Mhm.
So understanding the market as it is, and you mentioned it earlier in certain ways, I just started doing my own thing in relationship to the market. And then using some of the tools I used in the other markets, which is like doing a few free shows, and the free shows led to money shows, and the money shows led to more money shows. And now I'm turning people away right now. And I'm playing anything and everything from country music to Afro beats. So it's like, it's irrelevant to the click.
Mhm.
I even have DJs coming to me now that didn't want to pay any attention at all. But the key is doing you. Don't, when you say, how do I make people think that I'm not commercial or not, forget all that. Do you, and do it from the heart. I mean, whether it's DJing, singing, speaking, it's all art. And somebody's going to like it and someone's not going to like it. And you just got to press forward. Got to navigate at times, but press forward is the key.
Yes.
They'll follow you or they'll sit in the mud, because a lot of these people want to do something different, but they don't want to break from the clique.
Exactly.
And once you create something that's of interest, eventually they'll see there's another clique.
And to add to that, just having a women's network in general is absolutely powerful. But I feel like it's even more vital when you're talking about like the music industry, because like Tiffany said earlier, women are just so rare in the music industry. And, I deal with a lot of, women artists, and a lot of feedback that I get from them is they don't feel comfortable in a lot of studios, dealing with certain producers, dealing with certain managers, dealing with certain engineers who are males, and a lot of us can be jerks at times, let's be honest, so, it would be cool to have, just a network of, women who do these things as well, like women engineers, women producers, women who own their own studios, just to have an alternative from the norm, because maybe a woman will feel more comfortable with a woman engineer instead of a male engineer, be more open to singing the way she really wants to sing and things like that, but there's definitely a market for it, and it's something that's definitely needed in the music industry for sure.
Yeah, because that's a valid reason not to be active in. So I'm not an artist, so I don't know what women musical artists are doing, but that's a great thing. But every woman wants safety. They don't want to go to any janky place that looks like run down, like, well, like, you want me to meet you where?
And they also don't want to get hit on every time they want to make a song, you know what I mean? Like, that's one of those things that happens, it's like they, especially if they're really attractive, these producers and engineers are trying to, flirt and stuff, and they're trying to do business, they're not here for all of that. They're here to make music just like anybody else, but it's difficult sometimes, and I'm speaking on, women that I actually work with. These are the things that they tell me, and it's just like a network of that would be very, very powerful.
I agree. Now that you mention it, because I've seen, I've heard when a woman wanna, present her craft, she get being flirted on, and if she doesn't respond to that, the person don't want to work with her anymore.
Don't want, yeah,
Or they may say
yeah.
something about her to his friends or other friends, and it's not, now it's a challenge.
Mhm.
Yeah, so definitely. So maybe, so that would be for Tiffany. We're gonna give her that how do you call it, challenge to create a network like that, because I mean that's what your business is about. Like
Yeah.
something to, what's the word? Bring them together and say, hey, if you have a jamming session, go buy twos, like to provide
Mhm.
safety measures
Definitely.
and then identify the jerks to say, hey, don't work with so and so because you may take advantage of you. Like stop looking out for each other.
That would be amazing to collab on, because I know you have an extensive network. And so I would love, if we did something together where it's, centered around just women, but also I could focus on music and, we could really bring that diversity and inclusion.